Man, nothing says I'm ready to hunt more than a monster and a little Debbie Christmas tree. Let's get after it. Good afternoon, ladies and gents. It's December 4th, and another day in a tree. Today is December 7th. It's December 9th. Another day in a tree. It's another day in a tree. January 2nd, so it's January 6th. Alrighty, just got dressed after work and about to head into a spot that I just acquired yesterday. It's a permission piece that I just got yesterday, but I haven't set a camera in there. I haven't done anything. There's no specific buck that I'm chasing in there. It's a spot that I got, and I think the first time I want to step foot in there is going to be to hunt. So I'm kind of heading in there tonight, hang a set, kind of get a good idea maybe what's going on in there for this last part of the season. I'll probably try to hang a camera maybe after I leave or something like that, but I just don't want to booger anything up the first time I'm in there, and maybe I'll catch something off guard just going in there and hunting. So that's kind of the way I'm rocking with it. I also don't want to sit back and wait for a picture of a nice buck to go in, so wish me luck. I'm heading there now. Back in the tree. Brisk is an understatement. It is currently 4:30, 27 degrees with, I think it's like 23 mile an hour winds. So you can see the wind chill's down there a bit. But I'm back in my new permission piece. This will be my second sit here. Getting in was a little challenging. When I came down here, I was pretty cautious looking for deer because I had a feeling that they kind of just hung out in here. And I ended up seeing one. I was hanging out for a couple minutes, and then the huge herd of does that I saw the first sit here came down over the hill. So I probably stood up out of the woods. Well, I'm not sure how much of that you guys actually saw or heard. I just looked at the footage, and for the third time in my life, I shot at a deer and somehow didn't film with any audio for, anything. Nice. Kind of makes me about tired of filming, but I just had a pile of does come rolling in straight at me, and there was probably about 6 of them that worked directly under the tree. I'm talking within 3 yards of the base, and some of the mature does were looking up at me, were kind of curious at what I was trying to pick me, but none of them did. And I had my knees on the tree, just trying to stay still, trying not to be seen. And I told you guys, well, you probably can't freaking hear it, but I said earlier that it was, it's raining tonight, so everything's wet, and you can't really hear anything. But as I'm sitting here trying not to get busted by these does, I had a spike buck sneak up on the left side of the tree next to me, and then the camera was already facing there, so I got a little bit of footage of him. And then out of nowhere, on the right side of the tree, a nice buck snuck right up on me, and the first time I saw him, he was at 10 yards max. And he looked up at me a couple times, but he was working away from me, and I was trying to get my bow, trying to get adjusted. He was on my right side, and anyone that hunts out of a saddle knows that's about the most awkward shot you could ever have, is the right side. But I finally got worked around. He was facing directly away from me, and then finally gave me a quartering away shot, and I pulled back, took the shot, thought everything felt good. I think he was hitting a little low, but not a bad shot, and I totally missed. I mean, after I shot, I thought there was a chance I could have hit him, but I mean, he stood on the hill confused and blew at me for a couple minutes, so he's not hurt whatsoever, even though I did graze him. But I thought it was a total miss until I looked down at my arrow with the binos, and it looks like I shot through some brush, like right by him. And it looks like some thick brush, like stuff that you shouldn't shoot through. And it kind of looks like my arrow's stuck in the ground a little crooked. Which kind of makes sense, because the arrow did look like it was on track to hit him. But like I said, I thought I was going to hit him a little low. And I think it kicked the arrow at the last second. And kicked it and shot it right underneath of him. That's definitely a tough one to swallow on January 23rd. No doubt. Season's coming to an end, but I'm probably going to crawl down and look at my arrow just to see. Probably definitely inspect what I actually shot at, see if I even clipped him, but I can tell you if I even hit him, he definitely will not die. It's not a lethal hit whatsoever. But after getting blown at that much, and it's 5:36, I really don't have a ton of time. I got about 30 minutes left of light. I think I'm just going to go ahead and crawl down and grab my arrow and suffer my losses on this one. But unfortunately, this is these are the downside of bow hunting, for sure. Can't just point a gun at them and blow through whatever you're aiming at. A little more strategy to it. Gotta get closer. I've been hunting them pretty hard all season, but to have that happens, definitely a bummer. But after having all those deer blow at me and everything, and it's supposed to rain actually the rest of this week, so probably gonna give this spot a rest at least if I even, come back out here. I'm gonna go ahead and crawl down and try to find my arrow. Well, I can see my arrow. I'm gonna grab my arrow. And that, my friends, is what you call a clean miss. No blood, no hair that I've seen yet. But this is where he was standing. I was right there. And all of this right here, you can't see any of this up there. It just blends in. I'm gonna investigate a little bit to see if I can't maybe find where my arrow hit. Alright. Just want to get this in focus. Right here. I'd say that's pretty freshly hit there. That is definitely what kicked my arrow off. Man, that sucks. It's January 25th. January 26th. Alrighty, another day back in the tree. I haven't been out in a couple days because it's pretty much been raining for about a week straight here in Ohio. It's January 29th. It's probably about 3:45 right now. And I just got set up. I'm back in the permission spot this evening, back where I hit that limb, or hit that bush shooting at that buck. I have mixed feelings about tonight. I've never bumped any deer getting in here. There's definitely been deer in this spot as I've been getting in before, but I usually wait them out and they usually mosey around and I get a window to kind of slip in. But this evening there was probably 7 or 8 does that were bedded quite literally right over the hill, right behind the homeowner's house. So I mean, there was no avoiding that. I was walking in the driveway and one of them stood up and was looking at me, and then they all just started standing up and they weren't moving. So I kind of just started walking to see what they do, and they didn't even budge. So I kind of walked down the woods, acted like I was just not hunting, just walking, and they literally just walked. They ended up jumping off a little bit, stopped, and when I got a little farther into the woods, they literally came back, like following behind me. So I walked a little more, turned around, walked back towards them, and then I pretty much had to walk all the way back up to them before they eventually spooked off. And when they spooked off, they ran up towards another hill and bumped another couple of deer up there. And then as I was walking to my set, there was another probably 2 or 3 up on the hill behind me that kind of bumped off. So I don't know, mixed feelings. We'll start with the bad. Bad feeling is those deer come back in and they bust me because they knew I was in here and they possibly watched me get in here. The good side is that the deer are up on their feet and they're actually moving. So I don't know. I didn't really see any horns jumping away. I think it was just a bunch of does. So that's a plus. We'll just have to sit here and see what the night brings us. as usual. Deuces. Alright, so those toes are actually, they're finally starting to work off. That was best case scenario. The lead doe that came in first, she was the only one that was just super nosy and kind of on edge. She was kind of smelling in places that I walked. She was looking, just trying to figure out if I was still in here. But luckily she didn't find me. She didn't quite smell my tracks all the way to the tree. The plus, they're still a little in sight, but they're slowly working off. wind at me. He smells something he don't like. Come on. He wants to come down here so bad. Come on, bad boy. Come on, bad boy. So, I just had that nice buck that was about to come in, and I think he was gonna walk right under my tree, but my freaking wind is blowing up this hill behind me, and I really don't have many deer come from that direction, but he was up there, didn't see me or anything, but I think he had to have been getting whiffs of me. He blew a couple times because he knew something was down in here, but he didn't know what it was. And he wanted to come down here so bad, he kept walking down, going backwards. They kind of did that cycle a couple times. But in the footage, you can see he was walking behind a tree in the thicket, and then I lost him. I couldn't find him with the binos or anything. And I've been looking and looking, and then I literally just looked on the opposite side of me, directly on the opposite side of where he was just at. I just got the very end of him. He must have done a circle all the way around me and cut up on the other side of the hill. Gosh dang it. But it was the same deer. I don't know how I didn't see him before he got there. I must have been so focused over here. I wouldn't have had a shot at him from where he was at, but God, that sucks. That might have been the same buck I shot at, actually. Might have to look at the footage, but I thought it was gonna come together. I thought he was gonna go against his senses and come down that hill. And I was just about to get on here and say that I lost him, and I'm not sure where he went, and I'm not sure if he'll come back or not. And literally right before I was about to do that, I saw him over there on the other hill. Man, oh man. That sucks. It really sucks. Cause I thought I was about to tag out here in the last week of the season. But that's how it goes. That's just how it goes. You already know. Another day back in the tree. Another day. And it's another day back up in a tree. February 1st. Another day back in the tree. February 2nd. Another day up in the tree. It's February 3rd. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and make this a little bit of an outro. I think that's gonna wrap it up for me this season. It definitely was a grind, but honestly, the season was pretty awesome. I didn't get to wrap my tag around a nice buck this year, but all the experiences that I got this year were pretty awesome. I saw numerous amount of shooter bucks, but I only got one within range with an opportunity to make a shot, and I came up short. Mother Nature got in the way, and I actually saw that same buck again, and Mother Nature just wasn't having it. So it was a tough one, but season wraps up tomorrow, but I don't think I'm gonna, won't be able to go out most of the day, and then I don't think I'm gonna go out tomorrow morning. This is my first morning hunt, and I was gonna kind of let it this morning kind of play out to see if I wanted to come back, but I didn't see a single deer. And for this spot, if you don't see a deer, it's not really normal, is what I've come to find out. So I don't think I'm coming out tomorrow. I can't come out tonight. I got a birthday party, and then the last evening of the season I gotta go to baseball practice. So I think it's gonna wrap it up. I pulled my set down, but I left my camera in this spot. Just how a cookie crumbles sometimes. But if I can continue to hunt this spot next season, I am pretty excited about that. I got pretty high hopes for it. I only got to hunt this spot for a short amount of time, honestly, and to get an opportunity was awesome. So I took matters into my own hands, knocked on a couple doors, and ended up getting a spot, and gave myself an opportunity. So that's really all you can ask for. Till next season. Deuces.